It's one of the most famous waterfalls in the world, and every year millions of people come to see it. But why is everybody over there and not over here? On this week's programme, a tale of two cities at Niagara Falls, how America hopes to steal Canada's tourists. Carmen puts on her hiking boots for a trek to Bhutan's most famous pilgrimage site. We sample the best beers on offer in Prague. And Tommy talks to the hand, literally.
Hello?
Welcome to the Travel Show. This week we're coming from North America's stunning Niagara Falls. Now, tourists have been flocking to the American and Canadian borders for hundreds of years, and the extreme weather they've been having here has made even more people want to come and see the frozen falls. And this is my first time here, and they look absolutely beautiful. The three waterfalls here separate the cities of Niagara Falls, New York from neighbouring Niagara Falls, Ontario. And the difference between the two sides is stark. According to the latest annual statistics, just over 6 million people visited the American side of the falls, but around 12 million went to the Canadian side. With streets stuffed full of glitzy attractions, Canada is fully equipped for mass tourism, having invested heavily over the past few decades. On the American side, though, things are a lot less developed. I spoke to Paul Deister, the Mayor of Niagara Falls, USA, to find out why there's such a big difference. Why is the Canadian side attracting so many more tourists than the American side?
Well, the Canadian side made a decision way back in the 1970s to emphasize the tourism industry as heavy industry declined. We didn't do the same thing until the 1990s, but we've been very, very vigorous since that time, and we think now we potentially have an advantage over them. And the type of tourism that they've invested in, for the most part, is a sort of glitzy, neon-based tourism. Clifton Hill is a famous area on the Canadian side.
You say tacky?
I didn't say tacky, but I know that there are a number of people around the world who, when they think of Niagara Falls and when they think about visiting Niagara Falls, aren't thinking about that type of experience. What they're thinking about is a more private experience, communing with nature.
New York State is investing millions of dollars to try and improve the city and tempt over some of Canada's tourists, targeting the pricier end of the market. And nature is a key selling point. Whilst Canadians argue that the view is better on their side, the Americans argue that you can get much closer to the falls in their state parks. With such spectacular views on offer, Niagara Falls used to advertise itself as the honeymoon capital of the world. However, the current quality of the hotels available, especially on the American side, has seen that label consigned to history. Even in the harsh conditions, construction is well underway on higher class establishments, but at the moment, the hotel offerings still lag far behind the Canadian side. But a secret weapon the Americans have is their food. Yes, if there's one thing the Americans know how to do well, it's putting on a good spread. Hundreds of students come through the brand new state-of-the-art Culinary Institute here, learning everything from food basics to gourmet cuisine. You know what, it smells lovely in here, Sarah. What are you cooking?
We're trying to figure out ways to make chocolate chip cookies, but chocolate chip cookies aren't the healthiest for you. So this is our nutrition class here, and we want to figure out ways to make chocolate chip cookies healthy.
So what's next for you then, Sarah?
I'm really looking to just continue my education, and I want to go up and I want to see if I can get my Master Chef certification, and it's a ton of work though, and it's really intimidating.
So
but
you're
it's
going to
cool.
be the healthy chocolate chip cookie specialist?
I will after this class, yeah.
Students get the chance to practice their culinary skills at the on-site restaurant at the Institute. So where better for me to sample the results?
Thank you. Right, I've met the students. It's time for me to test out their handiwork. That is good. That is really good. You can stay.
While some of the students will of course leave the region once they graduate, the Institute hopes that enough will stay behind to help reinvigorate the area's culinary offering. With decades of glitzy development on the Canadian side, the US side certainly can't compete on size. But the mayor believes it's not just about the quantity of the tourists, but the quality.
We think they've left a major niche open in the tourism market, even if it's only 20% of the people that are visiting Niagara Falls, Ontario, that we may be targeting in that way. We think it's the 20% that stay longest and spend the most money, and so they're more valuable people to have in your local economy.
If you want to come and see the falls for yourself, here are a few travel show tips. Tip 1, don't forget your passport. The best way to see the falls is to experience both sides, so you'll need to cross border control to do this. Tip 2, think about seasons. The weather might be gorgeous in the summer, but both sides will be packed. Consider a trip to see the beautiful frozen falls. Tip 3, if you're flying, be flexible on where you land. Niagara Falls has its own airport, but airports in Buffalo and Toronto have more low-cost options and are just a short drive away. Still to come, Tommy's on a quest for the ultimate selfie in his look at the latest gadgets. But first, here's this week's travel update. Europol has warned people not to send sensitive information over public Wi-Fi hotspots. The warning has been motivated by the growing number of people being hacked when using free Wi-Fi networks across Europe, often used by people when travelling. Consumers are warned to only use trusted connections to send personal information. More than 60,000 passports were stolen in Thailand between January 2012 and June 2013, according to the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. 2 passengers on the Malaysia Airlines flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing that went missing last Saturday were travelling on passports stolen in Thailand, it was revealed. Under Thai law, anyone caught selling an illegal passport can be imprisoned for up to 20 years. But the country does not check passports against Interpol's stolen and lost travel documents list. Paris was the most popular tourist destination in the world last year, according to the region's tourist agency. Citing hotel occupancies, the body said more than 32 million people visited the French capital in 2013, beating second place London. However, the French themselves seem to have fallen out of love with Paris. Visits by French nationals dropped by 7.5% from 2012. Dubai's continued popularity with European tourists has been given a boost this week. Visitors from a further 13 EU countries will be able to gain visas on arrival. The announcement means that all citizens of the European Union holding an ordinary passport will not have to apply for a visa before arriving in Dubai from March the 22nd.
You can go to Prague to gaze at its stunning architecture, stroll through the castle district, or dance all night. But the birthplace of light lager is also home to funky bars, beer gardens, and restaurants with taps directly at the table. Under the guidance of a Bavarian brewer in the Czech town of Pilsen in 1842, Pilsner Urquell changed brewing forever by creating the first golden beer. Ever since, the rest of the world has been trying to imitate Czech lager. But Pilsner Urquell was sold to South African giant SAB Miller in 2002, and some believe this helped contribute to the recent microbrewing boom that is now enticing Czechs to discover new flavors, such as American and Belgian-style ales.
It's our national treasure. How would you feel about selling your national treasure?
Even the country's first known brewery at Prague's Brevnov Monastery reopened in 2011. It was one of 6 breweries to open in Prague that year. How are you?
Hello. This Brevnov Monastery is the first monastery in Czech. Was founded in end of 10th century.
So they've been brewing beer here for over 1,000 years.
In Czech, each pub had only one brand, and many people went to same pub all his life and drank only one brand. And it is very difficult to change in short time.
But Janek explained that despite Czech's newfound appreciation for international style beers, light lager is still king. Who makes the best beer?
For me, it's a Czech lager.
Yeah?
It is beer for drinking.
And with that, it was time to sample the lager straight from the tank.
When you drink a good lager, each drinking invite you to other drinking.
So that's why you guys drink so much beer.
Yeah.
You just keep getting invited.
Yeah.
Plenty more still to come on the travel show.
Well, the terrain's already starting to change and it's getting a bit rockier. I am feeling out of breath, but I guess we are over 2,000 meters above sea level.
Welcome back to the Travel Show, your essential getaway guide from the BBC.
Nobody goes on a trip nowadays without taking their mobile phone. So today, I'm going to help you get a little bit more out of your trusty little travel buddy. Oh, actually, for my choir teacher who might be watching, who always told me that I don't project enough, this is for you. Today, I'm going to help you get a little bit more out of your trusty little travel buddy. Well, actually, it's a different kind of projection. Come here.
The Celluon Epic projector connects to your device via Bluetooth and will beam a full-size laser keyboard onto the surface in front of you.
Now, I'm using it on the table and it's working absolutely fine. The responsiveness from each of the keys is actually really sharp. However, if you're a super fast typer, and I'm not, then this might slow you down. But it works well on any light coloured surface. Now, obviously, you're not going to rig this up just for a quick text message, but if you've got to send a long email, then it saves you fiddling around with a little keyboard on your phone. The picture quality on camera phones is getting better and better, but if you're serious about your photographs, then you might enjoy this little gadget.
The Sony QX10 Smart Lens pairs with your phone wirelessly through the Play Memories mobile app. Once connected, you can take 18.2 megapixel photos using the phone's screen as a viewfinder.
Now, here's what I really like about it. Because you don't need the lens to be attached to your phone for it to work, because it's all synced up via the app, you effectively can use this as the ultimate selfie camera. That's right, you can hold that up and use your phone as the monitor, so you need never cut your head off in a selfie again. Think of the opportunity. Selfies, group selfies, food selfies, and my favorite, the Belfie. As a man with no hair on my head, it's very difficult to justify wearing a headband. But now I've got the perfect excuse, because this is no ordinary headband.
The Run phones are headphones tucked away in a sweatband that you can connect to your phone or MP3 player using the audio cable.
Let's have a workout. Okay, you know what it's like when you're on a run or having a workout and your in-ear headphones get sweaty, or it gets irritating when they fall out. This stops all of that. The downside is though, the speakers in the headband are loose, so every now and then you have to readjust it. But on a positive one, if you've got long floppy hair, then this will keep it out of your eyes, which, as you and I know, is a nightmare. What? Someone's calling me during my workout. Whatever. Talk to the hand. Honey, talk to the hand. No, I mean it. With these, you can actually talk into the hand. Hello?
The high-call talking gloves sync with your phone via Bluetooth. They're charged through a USB port, and they'll vibrate and flash when you're getting a call.
So you use a control panel there to receive and end phone calls. In the thumb, you've got a speaker, and in your little finger, you've got the microphone. Yeah, I know, you might look a bit silly making a phone call like that, but surely that's part of the attraction. Now come with me and let's see if the great British public will play along. You want to use my phone? Want to say hello to the travel show? Use my phone.
What's happening, brother man?
How's it going?
That's quality.
That's cool, isn't it? Look, say hello. Check out my phone.
Hello, Geese. How is it?
Just say hello to my friend.
Hello.
No, you have to, can I put it against your ear?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Now.
Oh my god.
No, there's someone there. It's a phone.
Literally. Hello. Hiya. Wow, that's incredible.
See? They love it. They love it. Nice one. They're loving it.
Bhutan is a country shrouded in mystery. The first organised tours started less than 40 years ago. Visible from afar, the country's famous Taksang Gompa, or Tiger's Nest Monastery, clings to a vertical granite cliff more than 3,000 metres above sea level. As Carmen Roberts discovered, this isn't a trek for the faint-hearted, but the view makes it truly worth it.
Well, this is where we start our trek. As we approached in the car, I could see the Tiger's Nest Monastery clinging to the cliff in the distance, partly surrounded by clouds. It's quite a daunting prospect because it's 900 metres above the Para Valley floor. Of course, there's the option to take a mule, but I'm actually quite looking forward to the walk. I've been told it's a fairly moderate hike, and the average tourist can make it to the top within 3 hours. The terrain's already starting to change and it's getting a bit rockier. I am feeling out of breath, but I guess we are over 2,000 metres above sea level. Wow, what an amazing view. So So we've been walking for about an hour now, and this is the first time we've had a clear view of the Tiger's Nest Monastery. It's just breathtaking.
According to Bhutanese legend, in the 8th century, Guru Rinpoche flew to this remote and lofty location from Tibet on the back of a tigress and meditated in a nearby cave, making this one of the holiest sites in the country. The serenity is broken by trotting hooves and bells. The horses that have carried many tourists before us are coming down the mountain. We must be near their drop-off point, the cafeteria. And as the drops begin to fall, the idea of a hot tea sounded like heaven.
As you can see, it started to rain. Guess it's inevitable. Any seasoned trekker will tell you that the weather on a mountain can change within a matter of minutes. This is going to be miserable.
Fortunately, the cafe was only another 20 minutes walk, and we took refuge and waited for the rain to ease. After a much-needed cup of hot chai, a couple of selfies, and lots more photos of our destination, we recommence our climb.
So these are Buddhist prayer wheels. You spin them for good luck. You have to turn them in a clockwise direction for positive energy.
We pass a few tourists as well as some monks on our journey. Every Bhutanese person is expected to make this pilgrimage at least once in their lifetime to ensure good luck, peace and harmony in their lives.
Well, I've been walking for over 2 hours now. We've been taking it at a very leisurely pace so we can enjoy the view. It's just magical with these prayer flags here blowing in the breeze. We're only 20 minutes from the temple, almost there.
The air is getting thinner and my breathing is punctuated by the smell of pine trees along the track. It's advised to do this trek at the end of your stay in Bhutan, so you are acclimatized to the altitude.
Wow, look at that magnificent view. But it's almost cruel, giving myself vertigo just looking at these steps that go all the way down and then we have to go all the way back up again. I can almost touch the temple from here.
Rainbow-coloured prayer flags are strung across the gorge towards the temple, carrying the wishes of believers off on the cool breeze over the Himalayas.
The view's amazing. You're not scared of heights? So, we've finally made it to the Tiger's Nest Temple. Now, for many Buddhists, this is a journey towards spiritual bliss. I probably wouldn't go that far, but I do have a huge sense of achievement.
That's all for this week. Next week,
I visit New York's Chinatown to see why rising rents and relentless development are threatening the culture of this Manhattan neighborhood. This part of New York has been influenced by Chinese culture for many years, but things are changing.
don't forget to catch up on all our adventures on our website, Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, from me, Adia Depitan at Niagara Falls, goodbye.